Hi, I'm Ray McAllister, editor of Boomer Magazine, and we're here with Harvey Newquist, Executive Director of the National Guitar Museum. Welcome, Harvey.
Thank you.
We've been talking about the exhibit at the Science Museum, Guitar, the Instrument That Rocked the World, but also the development of the guitar and its role with the baby boomer generation. It was the instrument for baby boomers,
Certainly
wasn't it? It was the most popular. Why did so many people buy a guitar?
Well, the guitar, unlike most other instruments, is incredibly portable. And you can also sing while you're playing it. A flute is portable, but you can't sing while you're playing it.
Good point.
A piano, you can sing while you're playing it, but you can't move it. So the guitar, both the acoustic and the electric, were something that you could play in your bedroom, away from the world, or you could take it to a friend's house, or you could take it to college and play in your dorm, or start a garage band in somebody's garage. So the portability of it allowed people to sort of take it with them to the events that they most enjoyed, parties or after-school events or what have you. It also allowed them to write songs and play songs and sing along. So the portability was very important. Also, the fact that it was relatively inexpensive compared to things like horns, like a saxophone or a trumpet or a piano. I mean, a good guitar could be bought for under $100. In fact, Sears Roebuck was one of the leading sellers of guitars in the early 60s, and they sold a brand called Silvertone, which was their house brand made by a company called Dan Electro. But their most popular guitar was sold in a case that also doubled as an amplifier. So you bought the guitar.
That's creative.
Yeah, you bought the guitar, opened the case, there was a little sort of 5-watt clock radio loud speaker and amp in there, and you could kind of plug in and play and have the entire rig or gear that you needed, all for less than $100. So people like Bob Dylan and Jimi Hendrix claimed that that was their first guitars.
Really?
That's what their parents bought them. And so for not a lot of money, you could purchase an instrument that was well built, lasted a long time, could give you years of pleasure if you kept playing it, and essentially allowed you to express yourself. Or if you didn't want to express yourself, you could mimic the Monkees and the Beatles and the Stones and whoever else you wanted to. So it was easy to get into the guitar, and it was so reinforced by the fact that we had concerts and there were guitarists on album covers and posters and later on MTV. And it's just all of pop culture at the time, and TV shows. I mean, there was Ed Sullivan and Down to the Monkees and Ozzy and Harriet.
What do you mean down to? Up to?
I'm talking all the way across to.
Right.
And so it was continually reinforced, and that's not as reinforced today, obviously, with kids who are kind of singing along to techno and backing tracks on American Idol where you don't see the musicians in many cases. So it really, the point in history where boomers fell in love with the guitar was sort of the perfect storm of mobility and cost and popularity.
Well, and also the coolness factor, right?
Well,
what's cooler than a guitar?
Well, at the time, it took a while for the guitar to become cool. It started out.
Okay.
Well, it started out. You had country western guitarists, and it wasn't until people saw Elvis with it and saw the Stones with it, and certainly the Beatles with it.
Sure.
And then it was like, if you want to be like them, it's like kids who wanted to be like Michael Jordan, getting the shoes. So, if I want to be like Keith Richards or George Harrison, I got to get that guitar.
And you could, if you're a guy, you could get girls, right?
Well, that's a story also for another day. It depends on if you were in it for the music or in it for the benefits.
The benefits, okay. Well, thank you very much, Harvey. And be sure to check our YouTube channel for many more videos with Harvey.